In this video, I'm going to start up and calibrate the MigBot-S1 3D printer. I'm going to start with loading a reel of PLA filament onto the MigBot. This is a 1 kilogram or 2.2 pound reel. The MigBot also works with ABS filament. Okay, now I'm going to insert the filament into the guide tube and run it up through to the extruder. And now I'm going to turn on the power. First thing I'm going to do is move the extruder to the home position. And then I'm going to level the building platform. To be able to move the extruder, you can either disable the stepping motors or just turn off the power. For a gauge, I'm using 0.15 millimeter thick paper. I started with a full-size sheet, but I found that a small piece of paper is much easier to work with. You'll want to check the clearance at all four corners. You should be able to slide the paper between the nozzle and the platform with just slight resistance as you slide the paper between the two. As you can see, I tore some of the tape with the extruder's nozzle by playing with the axis controls before leveling the platform. The adjustment nuts are found on the underside of the platform. Loosening the nut raises the platform. Tightening the nut lowers the platform. I'm definitely going to look into replacing these nuts with some kind of a wing nut or something. Okay, to insert the filament into the extruder, you'll want to cut the end at a 45-degree angle and try to straighten the filament out as best you can. Press the lever on the extruder and insert the filament into the hole. There's a second hole down in the extruder that you have to get the filament into, and that can be a little tricky at times to get it in there. It took me several times trying that to finally get it in. I'm going to preheat the extruder so that I can advance the filament into it and make sure that I have it installed correctly before I try running a print. The temperatures are in Celsius. We'll just fast forward through the warm-up. And we go into the axis control section. And we're going to tell it that we're going to select the extruder. By turning the knob, you can advance the extruder. Okay, this is what it looks like whenever the filament wasn't installed correctly. The stepping motor has a hold of the filament, but because the filament didn't make it into the second hole that I had mentioned before, it can't advance the filament down into the extruder. So it just sits there clicking. Okay, here the filament was correctly installed and the stepping motor is able to push the filament into the extruder. And here you see the melted filament being extruded from the nozzle. And that's pretty much it for the setup of the MigBot. In my next video, I'll run a print demo from the SD card that came with the printer. And until the next video, thanks for watching.